Bam. And kick over. Boom. Johnny boy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me.
Yep.
Let's see.
I guess I should say words. That way I can... Hey!
You can say words. Yay.
Hey!
There we go. Yeah, this sounds low today. I don't know. Could be just me.
That's a good possibility. Yeah. It's always on your side, man.
It is always on my side. You do got that right. I don't know why.
It's the producer.
Sometimes the volume's like not high enough or something like that, and it's pretty weird when it does that stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, there we go. I had the volume down. Yeah, I'm just a big idiot. That's what it is. What is up, John? How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man.
You doing all right?
Yeah. Had a couple weeks to do this thing, so.
A couple weeks. I think we all did. Which brings us to episode 19, Primal Fear. I am your host, co-host with John and me. As you can tell, Shannon's not here. Shannon was busy in Tokyo or something like that. I don't know. Something. Godzilla. Godzilla this, Godzilla that. I don't know.
Yeah, trying to fight Godzilla over there. I don't know.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah,
good luck. All right, shameless promotions. I got my brother's laurels. You know what? He didn't put a picture up. Dude, this guy goes out on the kayak, just out of the blue, pulls in like a 5-pounder just with his stuff.
And he's like, oh, I guess my stuff actually does work.
It actually looked like this one right here. Just 5 minutes in, bam, caught it. I'm like, get out, dude. Dude be pulling some stuff all the time. It's crazy. Good for him, right?
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's
You want your laurels? It'll be in the description.
Wish I could be out there fishing sometimes,
I know, tell me about it. Well, it's getting to the end of the year, so it's kind of one of those. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Johnny boy. We got big albums to go through. Oof.
Yeah, we do.
Well, now, disclaimer, we had problems listening to the last album. I got at least halfway through, so we will try to find some reviews from other sites, and we will implement those. Sorry? Not sorry? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got through 13 of the 14 albums. That's like 90-something%. I'd say that's pretty good.
We're pretty good. We're good. All right. Are we ready for this?
As we'll ever be, I suppose.
Johnny boy, you get to go first. Sweet. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. This brings back old memories, doesn't it? It's just the two of us. Sorry, Shannon, if you're listening. Ooh, what do you get?
I don't even.
You are gonna get. Delivering the Black. Yes.
Yeah. So that was what, album 10?
Yeah, album 10. You're right about that one.
God, I can't even read my freaking notes here.
Deliver the Black came out in 2014.
Wow,
and
10 years old.
I believe that is the last. You remember the drummer I was telling you about? Randy Black. Remember that guy I was telling you about?
Yeah.
So what that is, I believe Randy Black, that is his last album he played on. So that was his last one. He was in there for 2003 to 2014. So that was one of those ones. Yeah, it was a really good stretch because he was in a band, one of my favorite bands called Annihilator. So
Annihilator, yes.
he jumped from Annihilator to this band, and he kind of stuck with them for a long time. That is a long time. It was almost a decade. So delivering the black.
Yeah. I don't know. This was one of those where like they had kind of gotten to a particular sound at this point.
Okay.
That was different from like the beginning sound that I'm sure we'll get into at some point. So for me, there's like, oh man. Again, I really enjoyed When Death Comes Knocking. That was a pretty great song.
Sure.
Let's see. Never Pray for Justice. That freaked me out because I was listening with headphones.
It did
right?
me too.
and like when that chainsaw thing comes in at the beginning, it was just I was like, what the?
It's like who's cutting trees down? Who's doing?
Yeah, what is going on?
It definitely it threw me off too. That's funny. That's funny you said that.
And that is I don't know, what is that? December. One Night in December.
That's my favorite. That's probably my favorite one. It is very much of an epic from them a little bit. It was a 9 minute. I was like, wow, 9 minutes. Oh shit. So,
yeah, it was like that section, that One Night in December, Never Pray for Justice, that little bit was a good area. So I gave it a 7.
I gave it an 8. I think you're right. Remember how we were talking about there's no denying this band is very, very influenced by Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Very. And Accept. I feel like they are really hardcore in Accept. Mm-hmm. I do believe this album was the starting point of the rest of their albums to date. This is the formula, like we were, the early days. This is kind of the formula, which I had a tough part from here to the rest of them because it all could have been one, kind of like the last 5 of Accept in that range. It's hard to really. I felt like from here on, I was saying the same thing over and over. The production's always good. Yep. The quality definitely went up in the production with the mixing part. Solos are there. The riffs are there. The drumming is
there. Yeah.
It's always there.
It's all there. Yeah.
And I kind of wrote that this album was the new direction. I even said that. I was like, this is something. If you listen to the previous one to this one, it's kind of like they figured out, okay, we need to do something different now. And this was that album. To me, I don't know, where would you want to put it at?
I mean, it's, again, it's a decent album, but as I think we do most of the time, we gotta have something somewhere, and I think it's a good lawnmower one.
Okay. I probably would have done but lawnmower.
It's like, again, it's that borderline, right? Like there's, it could go up or down depending on mood.
Mood, that, when we listen to these albums, it's like sometimes we do cram for the test a little bit. When you put them all together, this album was actually one of the ones I listened to today, but it's kind of interesting when you're listening to the start of the day and you got to this one, you're like, oh, okay, the progression. I
Yeah.
see. You can at least put together. It's not like, okay, this is a brand new album. What is this by itself? It's like
Yeah.
the progression from 5 albums ago. You can be like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay. Yeah.
kind of can put it together. You know, we're
Yeah.
we're we're pretty good at Legos and puzzles, so you know, I
Yeah.
am.
I love Legos, man.
Yeah, who doesn't like Legos? You don't. You're not French. Aren't they Swedish? Like Legos are Swedish or French or something like that?
They're probably over there somewhere. Yeah.
Chat, who's ever in chat, can you find out for us, please?
Yeah, Shannon, if you're chatting up,
Shannon, yeah,
find out about Legos.
you're in Tokyo, so you probably can tell us about you know,
Japanese Legos,
yeah, Japanese Legos,
Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
right? I got the 16.6
Yeah.
that album before The Devil Knows You're Dead. Interesting title, to say the least.
Yeah.
This one's kind of a longer album. This is over an hour. Normally they say an hour. This is kind of like an hour 10.
Yeah.
But I gave it a 7. Um, to me, this is the 2 albums before Delivering. You could definitely hear kind of the modern sound to it because this is like 2009. Like,
Yep.
I noticed the solos were very limited too. They really didn't push the solos part, which I believe is their bread and butter. That's their bread and butter, dude.
Yep.
The dual guitar, except Iron Maiden, dual guitar, like, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
The riffing was good though, but the solos, it's kind of like,
Yeah, they held back a little bit.
if you're going to change, you need to amp up something, right? If you're going to take away, you got the vocals, guitar, solos, and drums. You got 4 layers, right? Sorry, bass players, you don't count. If you're going to take away solos, you better do something to weigh out the situation. I don't think they figured that out because the drums were very minimal too. Like they didn't have a special parts to them. But I tell you what had me going with it. It had a King Diamond feel to it to me. It had something to it from King Diamond, like the structure, the solo, whatever it came in. The singing was super high. Holy crap! The dude was singing his butt off. Pretty good. Smith and Wesson was my favorite out of it. That was probably my favorite song from it.
Yeah, I also gave it a 7.
Yeah. Were you just playing it?
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was like I just happened to tap on 5.0/torn there, and that was
Gotcha.
yeah, I thought that the Before the Devil Knows You're Dead was a really good opener. It was a cool song.
They usually have good openers. Like a lot of their albums are, that opener's like in your face type of deal. I did like that one. That was like number 2. So I do hear you.
I thought the sitar thing they did with Black Rain was kind of cool. Just something different.
I do see people say that in the comments that I read a lot of this. Like they give them praises of throwing in different things. Like they had like synthesizers or the centaur or women like angelic singing in the back. But they're when you start venturing into that realm, that means you're trying to
I'm trying to find something to put in there.
you're trying to make something more than what it should be, and you know what it should be, but you're choosing not to give into that. Like, we're going to do this, and we think we're going to do this. As an artist, you always want to make music for yourself, right? You want to make music for yourself.
Yeah.
So if it's an extension of yourself, this must be the experiment phase part of it.
Yeah.
To me, this is a
Yeah.
To be honest, it's I might put it on a low lawnmower, like a really, really low lawnmower. There was stuff a lot lower than this one, but it's one of those you pick out of it. You don't listen to it along, like, you know.
I mean, yeah, there were like a couple songs, you know, Smith and Wesson was probably the best one on there.
I think it definitely caught me. I was like, oh, okay, this is Primal Fear, sweet, you know. And you're like, okay, you basically have a dessert and you just took it away from me. You dirty old man.
Yep. Like, oh, here's your you know, insert your favorite dessert here.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha, bitch.
gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, you get
Is that New Religion?
New Religion.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one. Okay. So, I gave this an 8.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I actually really like this one. And it might just be because of things. Anyway. But like, I mean, Sign of Fear, like right out of the gate, man, it just, you know, it just grabs you by the throat and punches you in the face.
That's my favorite one. What I'm starting to do is find a favorite song out of the album, and I'm putting it in as part of the number. Like, okay, that's my favorite song out of the whole album. That one. They know how to pick good songs to start, man. They're really good at that.
Like Fighting the Darkness was another one that I really liked. There was just like this album to me had like it just had a lot of feeling to it.
Okay.
And you know, I always like to find the comparison to Dream Theater in every album. And I feel like that song Too Much Time could be a Dream Theater song.
It's just a matter of time.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, just like because, and we'll get into where I figure out that he started to stop doing like, I'm going to stop trying to be Rob Halford, and now I'm going to be James LaBrie. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that was a conscious, like, I mean, I'm not saying that that's what he was thinking, but I was like, wow, this is like when he's not doing the high pitched Judas Priest stuff, there's a lot of Dream Theater in his singing.
He definitely can. We do have to put a disclaimer. He did try out for Judas Priest.
Yes, he did.
He did. So we have to remember that was his bread and butter. I heard he was very close. He was super close. Like he was top 3.
I mean, I can see why. Why he would, you know, why he would be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Because
it's a good thing he took his talent and somebody saw it and knew, okay, we can bribe, like catch this wave of you trying. That's a headline to use. It is kind of nice when you're hearing a different vocal where that was his one trick pony, and you're like, oh, you can
do, and then obviously like in the later albums too, it's another kind of vocal style.
Style. Yeah, you could say that. For me, were you done? I'm sorry. Were you done?
No, yeah, that was basically it. Like I said, I really
Okay.
liked it, and yeah, I gave it
Okay.
an 8.
I gave it like a 7.5. Um, Close. Side of Fear. That was my favorite. Um, there again, I do have to disclaimer the music sounded too safe. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't the album starts strong, but they really
It
don't
does kind of,
take you anywhere.
yeah, they just kind of, it starts out strong and then it just levels.
Very much. There's not that formula that the later albums have. This formula was not instituted, but I did say they definitely slowed down on a lot of their songs, maybe except one or two, but they
Yeah.
went for the heavy instead of the speed. They were
Yes.
going for the heavy riffing, which I that gave them one peg up from 16.6
Right.
because if you're going to do that, they definitely stuck with it at least, and they kind of did a good job. The solos were there; they're at least I call up to par.
Yeah.
If you got 10 songs, I should at least have 5 solos. That's a ratio. That's a ratio for me. You got to at least give me 5 solos, at least. I could say you're up to par at 5. If you're below that, that means you guys were not thinking, okay, let's just write riffs and not soloing and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there are 14 songs on this album, so.
oh, well, there you go. So I believe it was at least 6 or 7. I can at least give them up to par. Your band is known for solos to a certain point. You can't, you have to give fans at least something from the album and give something to yourself. There has to be an equal partnership there. And
Yeah.
sometimes bands don't want to do that and they want to be a true artist. Look, man, I appreciate that, but you do have to be selfish and generous at the same time. It's a hard line to walk, man.
Yep.
It really is.
For sure. Yeah.
So where would
Yeah.
we put this, Mr. C?
I mean, for me, I'm putting it in the yeah category.
Ooh, okay. All right. I can put it there. Maybe a high lawnmower, but I can go with that. I can go with that. That's
We
cool.
still got we still got 11 albums to go, man.
Oh man, I hear you. Oh, what the hell? Oh, clicking buttons I shouldn't be clicking. There we go.
Yeah, don't be doing that, man. Don't be doing that.
It was going to. I have this site I go to play fighting games, and you
Oh,
fight
nice.
against people and stuff like that. So it was,
Yeah, I'm not that good.
it was good. All right, what do we have? I bet she's going to be Metal Command. Ooh, no, it might be Devil's Ground. It's hard to see with black.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of
black.
them. There's a lot of black on there.
A
Yeah.
lot of black. Devil's Ground.
That
Okay.
was wrong. Yeah.
All right, which is 2004. Do you remember where you're at in 2004, Johnny boy?
Mentally or just
Yeah, right. Mentally or physically. I was not here.
geez, dude.
I just started my job at Comcast in 2004, so I was already like I've heard of Primal Fear because of the drummer. That was his band. I was like, I like Annihilator. I'm not going to try this.
Yeah.
I just stuck to Annihilator. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
whatever. So,
whatever, dude.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, man. 2004. What was I doing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I
I
hear
don't.
you.
Probably working on the loading dock somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. Shooting by the edge of the bay. All right, back to it. Devil's Ground. I gave it a 7.5. I really liked it because it had an old feel with a new feel to it.
Yeah.
That was one of the things. the solos on it rip, man. Dude, they were tasty solos on this one. Very tasty. There again, I put in the comments, it had a King Diamond feel. And I do have to explain why I keep saying King Diamond. The double bass pattern.
Yep.
The simple 16th,
16th
120.
Yep.
King Diamond is known for that. And
Yep.
it is riff over it, dude. They definitely, and Accept does that a lot too. I believe Accept back in the day when they kind of got into the Fast as a Shark,
Yep.
you know, they kind of had that too, but it was more King Diamond. And it's like, you can't help but like a lot of their albums, they have that one King Diamond song. They always have that pattern in one of those songs, and I enjoy it. I really do. And I think the one that really gets to me, actually, I didn't write it down, but funny enough, it was, which one was it? Man, that was a good song. Damn it, Mark. Suicide Mania was good. In metal, the fist pumper in metal, you know, metal is forever. I mean,
that's like their hit, right? Like
I think so.
That was like their big hit. That was like, hey, this is Primal Fear. These guys are gonna be something.
Yes, it's like, so I gave it 7.5. It got me. I kind of was going to go to an 8, but I was like, all right, 7.5. That's
yeah. Good. I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Shocker.
Shannon would have gave it a 5.
Yeah, probably. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I didn't really have anything. You know, it was fine.
It was good. It had no violin in it.
Yeah, whatever. I said the Sacred Illusions was a like it was like a Judas Priest Dream Theater mashup. It was like
you do like the influence of that.
I do. It's like if you took, because that's where I was like, oh, he kind of sounds like James LaBrie in here.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like if James LaBrie was in a Judas Priest cover band. That's what that song sounds like.
Hey, you know, I said
it was a little bit heavier than the last album. Sure. And I don't know if that was just like weightiness or whatever.
I do feel like a lot of times these albums, we get them after the fact, where sometimes the quality is a lot different than originally when it came out. But I do feel like this band came into the realm a lot better than other bands because their quality on these albums are always good.
Yeah.
Even the reissue one, you always worry about too much of something.
It
felt perfect. So to me, this is a lawnmower underneath the black one. But it's delivering the black. I think it's a lawnmower to me. It's a good lawnmower.
No arguments here.
Settle.
Was I listening to that while I was cutting the grass? No, I was not.
Literally, I was loudmouthing. That's funny.
No, actually, believe it or not, I think, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Who cares when I was mowing the grass? Actually, I think it was Delivering the Black is when I was listening to it. When I was cutting the grass. What do I get?
7 Seals.
I hated this album.
Oh boy.
I don't and I don't know if it was just like my mood. But it just
hang on, what did you give it? Like,
I gave it a 5.
Holy fuck. Wow.
Yeah, that's the worst one. And again, I don't know if it was my mood, but it was just one of those, like, you know, again, like, what is it, Roller Coaster, I think? That was like a pretty cool song. I like that one. It's just like
the Immortal Ones is pretty good.
It's just like it. I don't know. It lacked, and that's why I said that. What New Religion had feeling to it. This, to me, it just felt like there was no feeling to this album. It's just like we're here playing, and here's the album, whatever.
Wow, I gave it a 7. I did say the Immortal Ones was my favorite one. I think also too when you go from Devil's Ground to this one, it's definitely you feel the change in the music, like you said.
Yeah.
I think what kind of still got me was the solos were still good, but they were very selective with it. Like to me, they were like, this is where I start noticing they kind of did something with the solos. Like they just don't want to use that trick anymore. The drumming was kind of basic, but kind of up to par. You know what I mean? Singing was really good. I thought the singing was good, and but yeah, I gave it a 7. So this sounds like an F to you.
Yep.
Okay, we're not going dumpster fire, are we?
No, it's not that bad.
Okay. Okay.
None of these albums are that bad.
No, they're not. They're not. You're right. Which is good. It was kind of nice to have an easier time to listen to them because you're like, ugh, you're just trenching through. You're like, God, can't I just be done with this album? I never had that feeling.
Not for these guys, no.
No, which is nice because you got 14 albums. You're like, God, what could you do after your 8th? You know?
Yep.
What do we got? Unbreakable? Yes.
Yep.
Ooh, no.
No?
I got the very first one.
Primal Fear.
Primal Fear. 1998.
98 or 99?
98.
All right, fine.
That's what mine says.
Oh, wow.
Now, Jaws of Death is 99.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Primal Fear. Now, I do have to put a disclaimer. I did listen to the remaster one. So
did I. Yep.
Everybody just suck it up. Put it in the comments. You don't like it. Big deal.
Who cares?
So, we listened to it, goddammit.
Yep.
But to me, I gave it an 8. When it hit me, this is their debut. I was like, this is Painkiller, but heavier. This was Judas Priest and heavier to me.
Yeah.
They definitely showed the speed metal and the heavy metal part, which the formula was already made then. The speed, the power metal-esque to it with the singing, and the heavy metal part, the heavy parts, the mixture always worked. It's always either 50-50, okay, couple songs here, and we go back to it. I thought the album's great. Battalion of Hate is probably my favorite out of it. And they did an Accept cover, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. They also did a Deep Purple cover too. I don't know if you caught that one. Speed King.
Really?
Yep, that's a Deep Purple cover.
I like Formula One. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, I listened to this album twice, believe it or not.
Really?
Just because again I was on like Bluetooth speaker and it was like 6:00 in the morning and I'm driving out into the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
And so I'm like just trying to figure out what am I listening to right now? And I was like, yep, this is definitely like very Judas Priest influence.
Faster, man.
Like
It had
faster.
Speed, man. Oh,
Yep.
I loved it.
And I was like, it's a great first album. I mean, it's a a really good debut album, if you will. I'm trying to think. Like, uh, I don't know that I had a favorite song off of here.
Yeah, that was probably Battalion of. Actually, I put it in my workout. That's how good it was to me.
I think if I'm remembering, that one was pretty good,
Yeah,
and yeah, that Accept cover was pretty good too.
it
So
was.
you know,
I'm gonna put this in and in the front. It almost made shredding for me. It almost did.
wow,
Very close. It was very close. But yeah, I believe for having, and also too, this album came out in '99.
'98.
Sorry, no, see, you just
That's yeah,
messed me up. So they've been together for 25 years. So even '98, the quality of the technology for albums, like I'm kind of surprised they re-released it. But I mean,
yeah,
technology gets better every year. I understand, but see, they came in when technology was at its peak than what they were doing like in '84. You know what I mean? In the '80s,
yeah,
like '90s, it's like digital. So they came out with 14 albums since '98. That's a lot. That's a lot of albums.
yeah. That's
That's more
one
than
like
every two.
yeah, that's more
Well,
than one every two. Yeah,
so when you got Primal Fear, Fire was 2001. So they had one after each other, then 2 years, and then they did 2001, 2002. So they were cranking them out pretty quick. You
yeah,
know, when they got this, they must have had a huge splash if they just kept. And they're in Europe,
yeah.
dude. They love their
Yeah.
metal in Europe.
Oh, they do. I
They
mean,
love their Europe.
that's right.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's why all the cool festivals are over there.
I know. We get crap.
We get nothing.
We get yeah, we get nothing, dude.
We
Europe is
get
the place to be.
we get louder than life, and
Ozfest when it was around.
yep. And
That
what is
was
the
our
one? What's the one in
Mayhem
Daytona?
Festival.
What's the one in Daytona? Like rock the. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Uh,
I think you get
Black
Black
Sun.
Sun. Yes, Black Sun.
Black Sun.
Which is 2002.
Yeah. Let's see. What did I say about Black Sun?
Yeah.
Wow, was I? No, I was not cutting the grass on this one either. Maybe I was. I don't know. I cut the grass a lot. I really don't. I'm too lazy to do that. I feel like you could really hear the Accept influence all over this album.
Sure. Okay. All right.
I did like how they bookended the albums. Like they brought back the beginning of Countdown to Insanity at the end of Control.
Reprise. So they do a reprise, kind of like
Yeah.
your Transatlantic does, your Dream Theater did, where Octavarium, Root of All Evil. You hear the ending of the start of Root of All Evil at the ending of Octavarium. Yeah, that's your Dream Theater. That's your Dream Theater connection.
You made it. I was just
That's
saying
true.
that
I'm
that
telling
was
you,
the thing.
What did you get this album?
This one, I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gave it 7.5. I gave it 7.5. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really pick out like yeah, this is a good song. It's
I liked Black Sun was okay, but I did like Cold Day in Hell. That was pretty good too.
yeah, I can see that one.
This is one of those albums that doesn't start strong, but it ends.
No.
It got to the point by the end.
Yeah.
Like it did a reverse.
Yeah.
Yes. And the sound I wrote, it had more like muscle and thickness to it. Like it had more to it. Like they kind of down tuned or something, or they did the mix and like, all right, let's throw a little bit more bass into it or a little more thickness, what's not treble, bass.
Again,
mids. They kind of threw mids in it. Let's just say
that. There's fourth album in, you got to figure something, right?
I did notice the singing was a lot more. He had the grittiness to it. It had more, like you said, I'm getting out the Judas Priest era. I'm going for that, not growl, but I'm going for the anguish, the like I'm pissed off, and you know what I mean. It's like it was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved it. I was like, wow,
a little more,
that's cool.
Like a little more gravelly.
Yes. Another dynamic to going from nut squeezing to like pit bull. You know what I mean? You're changing it up.
You're changing the range, which is
the octaves. And I think that's another part of their formula that they developed too, because okay, you're changing solos and drums. Well, we could do the vocals. Why not? It's still Primal Fear, but it's a mature Primal Fear. You're getting the cohesiveness of what they want to do, and they're like, all right, time to go heavy, time to really give muscles to it, But like I said, I gave it 7.5. I thought it was pretty good. That was good.
That's pretty good.
So where are we putting this, Johnny boy?
I mean, I feel as we all do, and I say all, like our one fan that's not even watching the show right now because he knows what he's doing. Whatever he's doing. That's probably a lawnmower for me.
Okay. So are we
right
saying?
There. Yeah,
okay,
right there. I'd say it's
good. All right.
I mean, it's not.
We'll discuss that later. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
God take over my mouth.
Whatever.
Let's see.
If you don't like it, then come on the show and chat with us.
That's right. Hey, you know what? Exactly.
We got room for someone else.
We always do. Right here. Right in the middle.
Right there.
It happened.
Oh, no.
We're going to take the L on this one.
Yep. Code Red.
So I did listen to part of Code Red, and I can tell without a shadow of the doubt the previous 4 albums, which is Metal Command, Apocalypse, Rule Breaker, and Deliver in the Black. The formula is there. Even in a couple songs I already heard, it's already there. I can tell you this much: cancel culture, dude. Whoever's drumming in this album, they took it. Their double bass was like 180 beats per minute instead of like 120. I was like, wow. Because even in the start of the songs, I was like, getting into it, whatever. I can't rate this. Can't rate it.
I did not listen to a single second of it, so I cannot rate it either.
We're going to lawnmower. It's a lawnmower. To me, in the 5 albums, when I listened to them, it fell right in place. It was like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The singing, the couple songs was good. It definitely had a lot more energy to them. I feel like it was kind of like a, okay, we're back. This is on a new
record label.
Correct. So it's kind of like, let's show, because they just were a nuclear blast for a long time. I don't know what happened. You know how these bands go. So, all right. We will I'll still take this one because that was an L. That was on both of us.
Yeah, that we kind of just.
We tried. We're only human. Yeah. Come on. It was 14 albums.
It's 14 albums. We have lives, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
We have children.
Yeah. Think about the children.
Oh, someone think of the children.
The children.
They need to have their milk. Unbreakable. Is it Unbreakable?
Oh, I bet you it's not.
Oh, it's no.
Jaws of Death. The second album.
Yeah.
All right. Jaws of Death, which came out in 1999. Church of Blood?
Yep.
What?
Yep, that one got me.
Fight to Survive, Hatred in My Soul, Nation of Fear. Dude, these titles. Did Slayer talk to you guys?
I know, right? Like, Kill the King. Are we talking to Megadeth too?
Save a Prayer? That's definitely Slayer.
Yeah.
That's Slayer. I gave this one a 7.5. I felt like it was kind of like the debut album, but better. This has had a better. I gave it a 7.5 though. I don't know why. Like it's kind of weird how I just come out with those.
Yeah.
The solos are a lot better. I think they come out. You know what? I'm going to make it an 8. We're going to do an 8. Change it on the 5.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll give it an 8. It's only fair. If I say a debut album but better, it's got to be an 8. The singing, whatever they did with the mix of the singing, is really good. I believe so. What do you... John, what did you rate it? Are you changing the 6 to an 8?
I'm changing the 6 to 7.5.
Why are you changing it to 7.5?
It was better than the first one.
It was. Even when it remastered, it was a lot better.
I said it's like kind of more of the same, but it's just better. I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, Church of Blood, Kill the King. I mean.
Yeah. I could say this goes. It goes into the but it goes ahead of those. It's not shredding. It's not. To me, it's not shredding yet. They have a shredding album, and I'm wondering what yours is. Do you even have a shredding one? Don't tell me yet, but do you have one above an 8 and 8.5 on these 5 left? Do you have any?
I do.
Okay. So you do have a shredding. Okay. It's mandatory. You gotta at least have their best album where you're like, this is Primal Fear. You gotta do this. And actually, I'm going to have an issue because I got 3 of them that are kind of a 3-way tie for me. So it's just like, oh, shit, you know.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. You get Unbreakable. Yes?
Yep.
Yes. You get Unbreakable. Yeah, it's all right. Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Was
2012.
Yeah. So kind of a newer-ish, 10 years old, you know. Do we believe this is a concept album?
I feel like it might be.
I felt that when I was listening to it.
I felt like there was definitely like, and I said this on another album too, like there's a theme. Like there's a theme to this album.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the title, right? Like there's this Unbreakable thing. And I thought it was cool that they, there's Unbreakable Part 1 as the intro. And then, Part 2 is way cooler.
Was that your? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song? Do you think you have one? Mine was, and there was silence. That was my favorite one out of the.
I liked Night of the Jumps. I don't know. There's something about that.
You like those quirky songs sometimes.
I do, and
yeah,
so to me, like this album, this was another one where it kind of went back to the older formula a little bit, and there was like the '80s kind of. It had like an '80s kind of vibe to it.
I did say
like an '80s hard rock, metal, glam, hair, shit, whatever you want to call it.
I did say if you're going to go slower, you need a gimmick like heavy ripping. It definitely had that '80s gimmick to it, which is pretty impressive for a 2011 and 12,
album. Yeah, to sound like the '80s. Yeah.
What did you give the album rating though? What did you rate it?
I gave it a 7.5.
I did too.
And also that song "Born Again," man, that hits you right in the feels, especially the acoustic version. Like I don't know if you listen to the acoustic version or not.
No, I kind of minimized these albums where even the covers, I didn't even listen to them. I was trying to just get the music.
Yeah, I did. I did too, but that acoustic version, man, that's.
You know, it's funny. I wrote the album started out good, and then it kind of went downhill. I still gave it 7.5, but I felt like they were fast, slow, slow.
Yeah, it's like once you got past Unbreakable Part 2 and you hit that Born Again, then it just went down.
Yeah, it did. I felt like the solos and the rhythms were good. Drums were there, but kind of basic. But I believe every time I'm hearing the drums, I'm understanding a lot more of, okay, you're just holding it. You could do this amazing thing, but you're giving the guitars their time because sometimes drummers can't do that. And this is the Randy Black era. He has been coined the Neil Peart of heavy metal. He has been coined that. And you can kind of tell because he plays with two rides. He definitely has that. He can do odd time signatures, but he can really stay on time. Like he's a human metronome. He really is. You can tell that.
Good for him. No, I mean I don't mean it like that. I'm like that's awesome because I just never had the discipline to do that.
There's two types of drummers, right? There's the one that's on the metronome, and there's one that feels out the song. You have an internal clock. We both do. You learn that clock because you could be the metronome king, but if those other guys are not on it, you're always going to be like this. And if their clocks are a certain way, you need to learn that clock because you are the bread and butter of the band. You might not get notarized for it, but you are. You are the bread and butter. And I feel like with the drumming in these albums, that metronome, you can just tell that they're not. He's doing the fills, but it's like there's a certain reason behind them. And I'm like, oh, Randy Black. I can tell who it is. It's just like that. I can tell. Unbreakable. Where are you putting it there, Johnny boy?
Well, I mean, to me, I feel like we're going to have a lot in the lawnmower section.
I do too. I truly believe it is going to be that way.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's okay. It's pretty nice to have a lawnmower section because that means you're consistent.
Yeah.
You have consistency. It doesn't mean you like every song, but at least I know when I get a Primal Fear album, I'm like, well, I know 3/4 of it will be speed or an album speed. thrash or heaviness or acoustic something,
Something. Yep.
something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rule breaker.
Rule breaker.
Rule breaker. All right. Why did my phone go silent? Rule breaker. Oof. Man. Dude. This is one of the ones that I could honestly say this is a shredding album to me. This album, and I gave this an 8.5. This is a top shredding album. It has this epicness behind it. Like it has this over the top, like glorified sound to the album that really captured me. As everything, the riffs, the solos, the drumming, the just the music in general, this is them firing on all cylinders to me. Like We Walk Without Fear. That was my favorite song from them. And this is from 2016. So it's kind of interesting, almost 20 years. Like, you can put out something. This is part of that formula. This is that.
Yep.
We're cresting to the top of the peak of them. This is peakness for me. What did you give it? Oh, and Metal We Trust. Come on. That's a fist pumper right there. In Metal We Trust.
Yeah.
Bullets and Metal We Trust.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You never say you've never been bored.
Yeah, this one I might have actually been mowing the lawn when I listened to this, so I might have been. Damn it, I don't know. I don't know. I might have arbitrarily thrown like a 6.5 at it, and I don't know why. But like everything is there, like you said, like the solos were there, like the drumming was there.
I don't know.
I do feel like,
okay.
Like I don't, I don't know why it stuck with me. Like the sky is burning, right?
Yeah.
He has this fear to me of like being forgotten after he dies.
Leaving the legacy, like
yeah,
Primal Fear. That's your
yeah. It's like, will you remember me when I'm gone?
What does the eagle stand for? In culture, the eagle soars and flies forever. You are hitting it on the head. Your primal fear. I will be an eagle. I will soar above the clouds. I will be a legend. I will be leaving a legacy upon people of this music. Which in Germany, that's culture. That's a European type thing. Yeah. You're exactly right. Absolutely. After a couple albums, I'm like, the eagle is really big part of this fucking band. Like, I'm like, all right. I could almost put this in shredding for me. But to be honest,
wait, is it your? Yeah, it's your thing.
Yeah, it's fine. This is going to go to a high. Yeah, very high. I mean, we are so close to shredding. I got two other albums that actually beat this one.
Razor's edge thin, where the line is.
Yeah, this, which I have to get one of the two. I'm guaranteed to get one of the two. Well, let me take that back. I have a 33% chance I will not. There's three left. I have a 33% chance. I know odds. I know who it is.
All right, what do we got here?
I guarantee I will.
I guarantee you will now. It's 50-50, right? Nuclear Fire.
What a cool sound. What a cool name.
Yeah.
Nuclear Fire.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny because they're these songs, like Bleed for Me by Primal Fear, like in parentheses, like you, because there are other songs that have that title, so they're like, this is ours.
Yes. All right.
Like Kill the King, that was Kill the King by Primal Fear in parentheses.
Back to Hell is my favorite song on this album. That was a good one to me.
Yep, I like that one.
Yeah.
I feel like Fight the Fire was a good one.
Could we
And
say, hang on, can
okay,
we say this album might be the one you give to somebody, say, this is Primal Fear? Is this the one that you could say that? I gave it an 8.5. Like, I gave it a high rating.
yeah. Why did I give it? I gave it a low rating. I don't know, man. I gave it like a 6.5.
Okay, why
And
did you give it 6.5?
because I said, what did I say? I said there were more drums in this one, but they were
Okay.
still like kind of staying in the box.
I did say the drums took a step up than the previous two. That was one statement I did say.
Um, yeah, it was just like in their, in their box, staying in their lane. I thought Living for Metal was a good way to end the album, though, because
So I did say the song placements were really good in this album where they put them. I thought it was like one of the best ones. They really sat like, all right, this is where we're going to go.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a good, it doesn't suck,
It
right?
definitely, I wrote the album. It comes out of the gate heavy, like
It does.
super heavy, and
Yep.
it's really thickness to it. Like it just like here it is. This is their speed metal at its finest. Part of it.
Yeah, I feel like this would be the album, like if you want to know what Primal Fear is like in their early times, this
Yes,
is the one.
that's a good point. Yeah, this is their early sound, very
Yeah.
much. So where would we put this? I gave it 8.5. You gave it a 6.5.
Yeah,
How did you feel about it? Like, where would you like to put it? Don't take my 8.5. You
oh,
need, don't put that in consideration.
I mean,
Never
it is.
do. Never.
You tell me how to live my life.
Don't you tell me.
How dare you?
Meh, meh.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Why is it Red Rain keeps popping into my brain hole too as a decent song?
You know what's funny is that it is their song titles are really cool. I think they have really cool song titles. I give them that. Their covers are really good too. I thought the albums are pretty good with characteristics of everything. Some of them are like Seven Seal is kind of there, but everything else is
It's pretty
really
good.
cool too. That's the only one I don't like the cover wise. You always gotta
That's
have
why,
one. You always
yeah,
do.
it's gotta have one.
Can't be blood and piss and
Yeah,
like load.
yeah, and reload.
Was that fire? That looked like fire. That was a fire.
No, it was the same
The other
kind of.
part. That was the other part of the glass or whatever.
Yeah, it was another variation of that art.
God, we're not going to talk about this.
No, no,
Where
no.
are we putting this, Johnny boy?
We already talked about Metallica 19 episodes ago.
Yeah. Go back and watch it, goddammit.
Or don't.
No, I don't. Whatever.
Uh,
Where do we go with this, Johnny boy?
it's. Hmm, I. Hmm. It's in lawnmower, but I would say it's a higher
Okay.
lawnmower for sure. I'd probably put
So,
it. I'd probably put it between. Uh, we'll just say where I'm looking at it, 1 and 2. So we'll put that at number 2.
got it. I like that. That's that's good for me because we got to remember, yeah, and lawnmower. That is, I can listen to it all the time. You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not. I might pick and choose from it, but I'll tell
Right.
you what, that album, I don't think I picked and choose. I thought it was like, and
Yeah.
coming through. Where are we? All right. This is either going to be,
Metal Commando or Apocalypse.
yeah, that's going to be Apocalypse.
Well, I would. Yeah, kind of that way. Kind of looks that way. Then.
Kind of looks that way, don't you think?
Yeah,
Apocalypse. All right. Apocalypse. This to me, I gave this an 8.5 also. Another great opening track.
Yep.
You know, they always have those openings.
Yep.
Which is Apocalypse. They definitely went into it.
Yep.
This is part of that formula. This is that third one out of the 5 so far, because I believe Code Red is part of that formula. I believe you can listen to a couple songs, they have a formula, which I like. I think they really reinvented themselves. I think they kind of realized after Unbreakable or like 16.6, they had to realize, hey, we need to change something. We need to do something. The drumming and the solos and the riffing are good. Even the slow songs held my attention. And a lot of times they don't. They do a good job with their slow songs though, because they started slow, but they add in the heaviness to it. You're like, okay, that's a good. It's not totally all the way. I gave this 8.5. Hounds of Justice was my favorite song.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. I almost did Blood, Sweat, Fear or Apocalypse. They were close 2 and 3.
They were close. I like Supernova too. That one was
okay. I can go with that one.
Yeah. So to me, like again, like this whole album, it was like in that new direction, you know, of like the heaviness and weighty, whatever. And then you get into the Fire, and that is the most 80s sounding song that they could have possibly put out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know, man. It's just like it hit me, and I was like, I mean, it like again, it's a good song, but it's just like it's like one of these things is not quite like the other.
Do you feel like a lot of times when they do those 80 songs, this is their radio hit? Like they're trying to make something for the radio, and that's the one that they purposely make. Like, oh, if we got a new radio song, this is the song.
Yeah, maybe that might be it. And
it has that notion to it. I kind of realized that, like talking to you, I'm like, man, it's kind of like a radio hit. Like, if that's it, I'm just saying for the radio.
Yeah,
that has that structure to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's like most of these songs are like, you know, they're good.
What did you
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8.
Are we saying this might be a shredding for us?
I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking it might be a shredding.
What's your highest rated album? Is that the one?
Yeah. Okay. This one and New Religion were the highest ones.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Also, because I didn't give a rating to Metal Commando since you know I just finished listening to it like right before I got on with you.
I gave that an 8.5 also. I Am Alive. What a good song. Yeah, that was a really good one.
I think that's their number one downloaded whatever track or something.
That's funny you say that. Theirs is, I could tell you here in a second, is I Am Alive. Hounds of Justice is third. Walk Without Fear. Code Red, Another Hero. Really? Yeah, top songs. Songs. Metal Command, Rule Breaker, Apocalypse, Code Red, Deliver Black, Rule Breaker, Rule Breaker, Rule Breaker. So My Hound of Justice, I'm Alive, and Cancel Culture. Those are top 10. Those are the three I picked as my favorites out of like doing that. Wow. Not a lot of the old stuff. There's a lot of the newer stuff that people
A lot
like.
of new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of newer stuff. Like I said, I gave it an 8.5. Another good start. Formula,
Yep.
just like the other three. The guitars and the drums sound better. I'm like, I don't know how that's possible, but it does.
Yep. Then you've got that 13-minute ending track, that epic Infinity.
Dude,
That is such a killer. That is a killer track.
These two albums, Metal Command and Apocalypse, those two are my shredding. I don't know. Do we feel like shredding should be only one album though? Or do we
I think we can. I think we can have at least two.
You think two? Three tops?
Three tops, I would say, yeah.
I think we did 4 for Metallica.
I think we did. Well, because it's Metallica, and
I know, man. This one and Apocalypse and what is it?
Nuclear Fire.
Those are the three I gave 8.5s. Those were my highest ones.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I think I liked Metal Command better, but it's still hard for me to pick between the two.
It is because like you have again like you said, the drums were just like I was like, how can they be better? And here we are.
Yeah, right. It's
crazy. And again, like I said, he went with like another vocal style. It wasn't Judas Priest. It wasn't Dream Theater. It wasn't like the Gravelly. It was some like mixture of the three of them.
I feel
like a whole different.
It's kind of like when they're starting this formula right now or staying on it. Age is starting to show itself. We're starting to see the vocals being different because I think his vocals are just changing. From
that could be for being around for 25 years, doing all that, and obviously you have to take care of your voice if you're a vocalist. But again, this dude's probably what, if he tried out for Judas Priest in the 90s or whenever that was.
That was like 94.
Like 94, 93, 93, 94, 95, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So you figure this guy's got to be somewhere in his 60s.
I give him 50s. I give him 50s.
Okay,
Did you remember James Hetfield's in his 60s?
Well, he's early 60s. He's like, what, 61 or something? So
yeah, I give him high 40s, probably.
So somewhere in the 50s. Yeah, I mean, we'll just assume that he was somewhere in his 20s.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, 40s to mid 50s. We'll give him that.
I give him 40s, mid 50s. I think you're seeing the accumulation of touring. Could be a drinker. I don't know. I did notice the highs being a little bit bassier, if that makes sense. They're not stringy like glass breaking, but they do have that German, to it. Germans, man, they know that's part of their group, if you will, what they do. Where are we putting this?
I mean, I think it's got to go in shredding, right?
What did you give it? I didn't get your rating. What did you give it?
I didn't. I told you I didn't give it a rating.
Got it.
But if I were to give it a rating, I would say it's an 8.5.
Damn it, John. All right.
No, it was a really good one. It was really good. It was a shredder.
All right, John. You get to move one album. What would it be?
Well, if I could read them, because my laptop is only this big.
Okay.
I'm kidding, it's not. But
Hit F11.
F11. Where the hell is F11? Oh, there it is.
Did it go bigger?
No, it did absolutely zero things.
God damn it. Okay. So you got Apocalypse Metal Command.
Yep.
Rule Breaker, Jaws of Death.
Mm.
Primal Fear,
Sure.
New Religion.
Yep.
The Black, was it?
Yep. Delivering the Black.
Yeah. Nuclear Fire. God damn it.
Devil's, is that Devil's Ground?
Yes, Devil's Ground.
Okay. Black Sun.
Yep. That is Code Red.
Code Red. That
Unbreakable. 16.6 and 7 seals.
Yeah.
What would you move?
I mean, I don't know.
If you're happy with it, we don't have to move it.
I mean, I don't think there's anything. I mean, because I didn't listen to Code Red, I would probably move that flip flop Unbreakable and Code Red. But
you know what? That's my move too. I think you're right. I like the list. I think it's great. I think it kind of the overview. I think Primal Fear is something we slept on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
They are a diamond in the rough. I'm quite happy. I've never felt about now a group like when I found out about like Annihilator and getting into them. I was like, man, this group is really good. And I went down that rabbit hole. I'm kind of getting that vibe when I listen to us. Like these are like they're bangers. They scratch an itch on me of like speed and thrash, and I love the power metal part because of Iced Earth and like
Iced Earth, man.
Halloween, and I mean that itch. They even have the progginess to it on certain songs. I'm like, okay, that scratched that itch. Okay, cool. Yep. So, overview, I'm very happy with this band. I believe they are 7.5 to an 8 total, to be honest.
Yeah, I was not sure going into it. I was like, I have no idea who these guys are.
And, I knew who they were. I just never gave them a chance.
Well, and like listening to the first couple albums, I'm like, okay, all right. But then as, got through the 13 albums that I listened to, yeah, man. I mean, they are definitely as you said, a sleeper, a diamond in the rough that,
yeah. Way to go, Germany.
Yep. I'll tell you what, man, Germans know their metal.
Dude, they do know their metal. They know how to take that heaviness and just make it their own, type of thing. It's kind of sad when we looked at the Wikipedia, all these members left, and you're like, but the music's it's already etched in it. People just got to come in and do it, and that's kind of a good part because it's good music. You don't want nothing to change from it. You like it for a reason.
Did I see? Because I know we were looking at it before we, started the stream or whatever, but it was like this date, these people left, and then like a week later, their replacements showed up, and it's just like.
Well, what's funny is with Primal Fear, I feel like they're one of those bands that they have been in the league. I call it the league. They've been in the league for so long. People know who they are. They probably give a good concert too. That is one band I didn't get to catch like a video, like a YouTube of their concert. I do try to watch that to get this song. Oh, okay, this is supposed to be because they do have a lot of
like
chanting.
Singles.
Yeah. Well, like concert shouting songs where they got the crowd involved.
Yeah, like call and response kind of things, and audience
metal.
participation in metal.
Audience participation. Yeah. Overall, I think this is a solid band. I give them 7.5 to 8. Check them out, especially Apocalypse and Metal Command. It is newer ones. If you're going older, I say Nuclear Fire. Personally, I think that's a good old one.
I would say Nuclear Fire and Devil's Ground are probably the two older ones.
Yeah, check them out. If you don't, you're stupid. And
all the comments go to him.
Just leave it in my DM. That's fine.
Right there. Yeah.
Just leave it in the DM.
That's it. He may or may not listen to you.
So we need to take them out of this. So Primal Fear, did I take them out? I think I did. Yeah, I took them out. Okay. I took them out. All right, cool. And now to my favorite part. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right, tell me when to stop, John.
I don't even, it doesn't even have any time on it. Go ahead and stop.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
Now remember, John, if there's bands you want on here, bring them to me. It's only fair. None of your comments about crappy bands. We're not doing that. Sorry. Unless it's a cool band, I'll check them out. I'll throw them in there. But don't be telling me Taylor Swift. No, I'm not doing it.
That's not this show.
No. Sorry about your luck.
I mean, we're already going to be here. We're already going to be here for 52 years doing this. We don't have time. We don't have time for NSYNC and Taylor Swift. What the hell is that? GBH?
GBH. So GBH is a hardcore European band. So GBH, the rock band. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Look at that.
English rock band from '78. A lot of the thrash metal guys love their songs. We're talking like Anthrax to Metallica. They're a punk rock band formed in '78. I think they still play. Yeah, they still got two members.
Man, those guys are older than me.
That's right.
Well, their band is older than me.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow. Okay, what is mini album? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is that like an EP?
Yes.
Okay. Jesus Christ,
so they do mini albums where they do like
singles and whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. You got 7-inch singles, live albums, compilation. Man, they got a lot of stuff back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, lots of DVDs.
Yeah, a lot of DVDs. Yeah, I bet you. Let's see. Track listings. I'm trying to see
how long these albums are.
Yeah, that's, I don't think they got any.
Let's see what the old. God, is that even going to be in here?
38 minutes for like Perfume and Piss. I don't see these being. I know. I don't see these being super long. Like we're talking 2 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, 4 minutes.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a 5-minute song there.
Oh yeah, the last one.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Oh jeez, because they got all the stuff in there.
34 minutes. Yeah,
it's 37 minutes. Yeah, it's
43 minutes.
48 minutes. Oh, that's the expanded version. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
What we're seeing here is a punk rock band from Europe that influenced a lot of bands. Like James Hetfield loves them. Like we're talking
Wow,
all
an
the
hour and 12 minutes?
really must be a lot of.
It's 22 songs, so.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Wow. They don't have many like lineup changes. A lot of them stay together. That's pretty cool. I like to see that. When you start getting revolving doors, almost like you're playing sports. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. But
it looks like some of these albums, yeah, they're getting into like the 15-minute category. So as the time goes on, it looks like they're getting to be more than 30-minute albums. So
so they're part of that the punk rock,
right.
back in the day type of thing. So all right.
Well, I'm gonna have to write down these albums.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that's the end of the show. Anything you got to say?
Listen to Primal Fear, kids.
Yeah, listen to Primal Fear. I think you would really enjoy them.
Yeah, and don't let your primal fear overtake you.
That's right. Look at you. Giving back to the kids. Good job.
That's it. Well,
all right, John. Say goodbye to the internet.
Deuces, internet.